yesterday was sort of one of your guys' tougher losses, felt like. How is the mood after a loss like that, and how do you feel it is in context of the way the season has gone?
It doesn't feel right. Obviously, the Miami, they just came out there, they punch us. They play really hard, more like a team. They were more executing plays defensively, offensively than us. We were like kind of like slow in every possession. We didn't do like the small things, which is basketball requiring to be tough in every position, to play aggressive. We were on our level, and of course, taste is a little bit like bad in the mouth, after all performance yesterday. But of course, we have kind of like video meeting. We try to talk how to fix our mistakes, and try to that things don't happen again, I would say. And I think this team can do it. Of course, we missed some shots, but of course that's going to happen in basketball. I think we need the other end, defensively be every night there. Sometimes it's hard. It's just too many games or whatever. But I think we should be like every night on the point defensively. Our aggression. We're gonna make mistakes, but like our body language and our like defensive presence needs to be there.
You mentioned defensive presence. Just what do you make of your guys' defense the past little stretch?
Like how we did.
Yeah.
That game, like, I think we were like in shell defense. We weren't tight. We didn't like kind of like back each other. Like if somebody makes mistake, another guy makes another play. I think we were just like what I say, kind of slow. And that's not our like identity. I think we can do so much better, and we show we can be better. And I think that's just one of those games, maybe. But obviously we are 30 games in, so I think like we should already, kind of like have like some identity defensively, to try to have like every game. I think that's the most important. Obviously, special in situation where we are. I think every game is matter. I think we need to play every game is like a final, and that kind of stuff. So I think that's gonna help us, to find identity, and it's gonna help us offensively too. So we have like more like kind of like faster players, more fast breaks and that kind of stuff. So I think defensively need to be there for each other.
Dario, when Steph is having an off night like he did yesterday, is there a thin line for you and the rest of your team? Obviously you want to pick him up, but is there a thin line for you guys not to cross pitch and trying to do too much?
Yeah, I agree. We have like that kind of conversation sometimes. Like we should have helped the Steph to have an easier game, kind of like make play for him easier, to get him open. Obviously Draymond was here. Draymond kind of understand that kind of role a little bit better than the rest of us who are like here for 1 year right now, kind of like to get to know each other, to how to play. So obviously I think we could have helped him, to get a better shots, to have like be more easier to him to score. We kind of like were all over the place offensively, defensively too. So I think maybe in next game we should like really focus on Steph to get him easier looks, and Clay too.
How much of a focus was that, the last part you just said about getting Steph easier looks, how much of a focus was that today in practice, if at all?
Yeah, we have a focus on that. Of course, it was like more kind of like talking and kind of like walk through than actually practice. But I think that was the one of points emphasizes, to get the Steph kind of easier look, make him like, best shooter in history. Sometimes we just like play off the game, but sometimes you need to think, Steph is next guy to you. You better go there and make a DHO. Sometimes games give us some looks, and the nature is like for player to make a plays. But I think we need to be aware we have like one of the, best shooter in history, and try to make him, a little bit more open, more like DHOs, more extra passes, more screens and that kind of stuff for him to make his life easy. And then after that, when he score a couple times, when he score points, is gonna be easier for us, to get open looks.
Is GP2 available?
GP2 is available tomorrow. Yes.
How big of I guess, one step of just getting everything back together, especially on the defensive end? How much do you hope that just having him back out will help?
Yeah, our defense has not been great lately. We've got a lot of issues in terms of just, staying in our shell. Too many holes in the, in the shell on the weak side, back cuts, things like that. So, Gary's a great defender. It'll be good to have him back, and we'll see how we fit him in and who's available.
Any restrictions for him minutes-wise?
Yeah, I mean, he has only had a little bit of court time, so he's not going to play a ton. But I don't know. We don't have a number right now.
You mentioned yesterday and a couple other times in the year that you were out-coached. I guess my question on that is, at what point, or when you look at the struggles of the year, how much are you seeing the coaching aspect contributing to the struggles, and how much of it is execution?
It's the same thing. When I say I got out-coached, it's because our team didn't execute as well as the other team. And so, during the course of 82 games, you generally have games where you execute better, and you have games where the other team executes better. But if you're a good, consistent team, you're gonna win the majority of those battles. You're gonna execute better for a longer stretch of the 48 minutes than the other team is. And I thought last night I thought Miami out-executed us for a big majority of the 48. So that's coaching. It's as I say, it's always a collaboration. Everything that we do is about the coaches and the players collaborating and trying to come up with the best plan and how to execute well and how to attack a team. All that stuff, it all factors in. So we didn't do a good job of that last night.
Steve, when one guy's struggling on the court, it's natural for the other guys to want to pick him up. When it's Steph, is there more pressure on guys, and you got to make sure that they're not putting so much pressure on them to overdo it and try to, to really make up because of what Steph brings?
Yeah, I think one of the themes for us this year is when we don't make shots, can we keep our energy and focus? And it feels like we get a little down on ourselves if we're not making shots. And if Steph's not making shots, obviously it puts some pressure on us. But if we execute, we should be able to play through that. And that's the whole point of execution, is you still get good shots even when you're not making them. If you're not executing and you kind of drop your head because you're missing shots and the execution suffers, now you go a few possessions without getting a good shot. Now everything's, it's spiraling downward. So execution is most important when you're not making shots. And that's where we really struggled last night. Our spacing wasn't good. And we did have some open looks that we missed. And that's fine. It's going to be different every game. Some days they go in, some days they don't. But if your execution is consistent, your spacing is consistent, then you can make it through those spells.
Dario mentioned that something that you focused on a little today was how to get Steph better looks, or especially earlier. Is that something that you feel like was an issue today and has been an issue maybe last few?
Definitely an issue last night. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Hey. No, I think that's been an issue lately. What makes Steph who he is how good he is off the ball as well as on the ball. So, you can always put Steph in high pick and roll, which we do a lot of. But if you do and he gets the ball out of his hands, what happens next is what makes Steph unique. He runs off the ball. All of a sudden, he's coming off a pin down or a dribble handoff, and those are the actions that historically have given teams fits. Maybe it's throwing the ball into the post and getting to a split. Maybe it's him running to the weak side and coming off a pin down. We aren't getting those plays lately, and those are the plays that we have to get, and a lot of them happen organically. So it's really the way to get to them is with spacing and ball movement. And we watched the tape as a staff. First 7 minutes, I don't think we had a single one more possession. You always say one more, good to great. We got good shots. We got fine shots. We didn't get great shots. We didn't make the defense work. We didn't take advantage of Steph's power, his gravity, whatever you want to call it. And so, through 7 minutes of the game, he's got 2 shots. Neither one was a particularly good one. That's on us. We have to execute better.